Hey. I was thinking earlier, I've been on this healing journey for a while, and it's a lot of bursts of energies and then exhaustion. Knowing the answers and questioning myself, mulling over the past and dealing with a lot of past hurt, and just this constant second guessing myself. And I've had to learn that that's me kind of getting in touch with my intuition, fine tuning it, making sure that I'm hearing my higher self accurately. And with us going into retrograde, talk about the past coming back on all levels. My kids have been talking about their dad for days, memories that they have. My mom sent me pictures of them from when they were, I think, 1 and 4, which was a very difficult time in our life. And that, of course, made my heart swell seeing how little they were and going, oh my God, now I see how big they are. But at the same time, that triggered a lot of emotions from the past. And then speeding up to more current energies, other heartbreak that I've had to deal with. And I kept going, what is it? I'm just a catalog of heartbreak. I am seeing all these people that I've put trust in, thinking at that time I asked all the right questions. And as a single woman or man, you should always ask, are you single? Do you have kids? Do you have your own place? Are you okay on your own? These are questions that I was asking, thinking that people would answer me honestly. And I've learned very quickly people aren't always honest about their own life, especially if they desire something such as you. They'll tell you what you want to hear, and that's not always going to be the truth. And that's the hard part, when you find out the truth later on and you had allowed your heart to get invested into a situation knowing that it can't move forward. So with that being said, that was a piece of fur or something, I'm not sure. But with that being said, try to move forward. Try to not get stuck in the past. Try not to hate everyone that's done you wrong, because I have to keep reminding my daughter, you're hanging on to a lot of negative energy by the way that you feel about your dad. And instead, you have to try to look at it from a more loving and compassionate standpoint of, he just couldn't be who he needed to be for you, your brother, or for me, not even for himself. And that's the sad part of the matter, is there's a lot of people that want things in life, but they're not capable of accepting what they want, even down to love, and I found myself yesterday going, I just surrender. I quit. I don't care anymore. Love is not meant for me. I accept that. And I've said this several times, because it just gets to a point to where that passionate love, that union, that connection, and honestly, the more we want it, the more we repel it. And I just got to a point where I said, I don't care what happens in my life. I was talking to someone earlier and I was like, I did a lot of quitting last week. I quit my job. I told somebody to leave me alone, go heal yourself. Had an ex that tried to come back and slam the door on that. Like, no, I'm done with the past. I'm not doing anything with the past. I am living in the present. I am moving to the future, because there's nothing from the past that serves me. And I actually had someone coming in my thoughts a lot, which, when that comes down to that, that's somebody else pulling on you because they're thinking about you. Unless you're obsessed with somebody and you're constantly thinking about them, then you're pulling on their energy and it goes back and forth. However, this person has not been somebody that I've wanted to connect with or reach out to. So it's them, like, trying to energetically hijack my mind and get into my energy again. And I'm over here like circle of light, bubble of protection. No, no, repel, send back. No, I'm not interested in the past. Not doing it, because there's nothing from the past that serves me right now in my present, nor is it going to help me move successfully towards my future. And it took me having to accept what had happened in the past, to look at the heartache, to feel it, because I'm the type of person that when things happen and they end, I'm just like, okay, what next? And I don't necessarily process how much pain that brings to me. And that actually became like a crutch, because I did deal with somebody and it took me like a year, and I had even gone into another relationship not considering how that person had affected me in such a small period of time, how long it was going to take me to get beyond the way they made me feel, how they made me feel less than, how they made me feel used, how they made me feel stupid. All these negative things came with trusting someone. And I see now the purpose and why I met them, and it was to help me deal with emotions I wasn't dealing with. And I'm still very thankful that I have met that person, and as thankful as I can be, I do not welcome them back in my energy or my life, because once you meet a user, you don't really want to cling on to them, right? It's not somebody you want to keep in your life like, yeah, just use me up, that's fine, I'm here for that, your happiness, not my own. But dealing with that person has actually helped me to make a stronger walk to the future of knowing what I want, knowing what I'll accept, what boundaries I need to set up, what barriers I need to take down, what other practices I need to implement into my life on a spiritual, physical, and a mental level. And if you can start looking at people as lessons, you'll start finding the blessings, because you have to be able to accept what has happened and not let it consume you, because when it consumes you is when you get stuck. You're sitting here going, why? Am I not good enough? You start questioning yourself. And if you can turn around that thought process, that it's not suggesting you're less than what you are. Rather, it's pointing out key factors for you to understand what you can tweak, what you can change about yourself to attract better relationships, better jobs, better thought processes for yourself, old patterns that you can break, just different things that will benefit you on your healing path. Because a lot of people don't realize they're here with the intention of healing. Rather, it's easier to stay stuck in the old mindset and the patterns that keep you in that karmic loop, right? Because it seems for a lot of people it's a lot more fun to live in that pain. And I know there's no truth in that statement, that's just how it appears. Because even an alcoholic doesn't enjoy drinking, it's just a habit. It's something that helps to numb the pain. And I have a lot of alcoholics in my family that they've either been forced to quit because their bodies made them, or they're still simply alcoholics, or they went too far with it and they're no longer here, But having to watch them try to heal by being forced helped me to make choices for myself. Instead of being forced, I started making the changes, because our bodies can only take so much. Our minds can only take so much. And when it boils down to it, if we don't start listening to our body and our thoughts, and I'm talking the thoughts that guide and direct you in a more positive manner, if you don't start listening to those things, then you do have a shutdown, and then you do have a forced sit down, you know. And it's like I told someone the other day, you can only be told so many times, and then eventually you get sat in the corner. And I know a lot of people that are being sat in the corner because they refuse to recognize they have trauma. They refuse to work on that trauma. They refuse to feel the pain. They refuse to do anything in regards to bettering themselves. And they're comfortably living in a concept that is hurtful to them and hurtful to the people that they interact with. So when you go through life and you're willingly hurting people, and these people speak up and even tell you, you're going to be stopped. You're not allowed to go around and just put gasoline on everybody and catch the world on fire. That's not how this works. You're going to have to learn how to heal your heart. You're going to have to learn how to break those old generational patterns. You're going to have to learn to fix the damage that you did not create. And it's in your blood. It's been passed down through our bloodlines that our ancestors behaved in a certain way. And genetically, it kept coming down to us. So now we have a lot of playboys and playgirls. We have a lot of liars. We have a lot of manipulators. We have a lot of thieves. And these are actions that were self-serving for somebody at some point. They made sense to that person at that time. They don't make sense anymore, because as you have things that pass down genetically, but the world changes around you, now you're functioning in a way that's not suitable for the present. Hopefully that makes sense. So you have to begin to adapt and adjust the way that you feel, think, behave, react, to have it better compensate for where you're at in life and for where you plan on going in life. Because if you sit here and you keep functioning out of an old paradigm that does not fit with a new structure, then that's where you start finding yourself getting confused, finding really bad relationships, keep dealing with heartache, just keep making bad choices, always struggling. No matter what you do, it's not good enough for you or anyone else. I mean, you'll just find yourself stuck in your head. And I told my sister yesterday, I said, I cannot get out of my head. I tried everything. And I finally had to sit down and just deal with it. And I thought, maybe today is the day I just cry it all out, you know? Today is the day that I just accept everything for what it is. And I had a very numb feeling to me yesterday. And I even kept telling my sister, I was like, it doesn't feel like it's me. I didn't feel like this. But I had somebody from my past that wanted to meet up with me, and I refused to meet up with them. I refused to reconcile the relationship. And honestly, I'm sure I was feeling their energy. This hopeless, empty, dark feeling inside. And it took a lot to not reach out to that person and try to make them feel better, because that's one thing I've done for that person and a lot of people in my past, was to be an enabler by helping them feel better and not letting them feel their pain. And that's something that I myself have had to go through time and time again. You talk about a death and a rebirth, leveling up. And it seems like as soon as there's that death and that rebirth, level up, there's a new stage of a death and a rebirth. And for about 2 years now, I have been exhausted on a spiritual level, because there's this constant death, rebirth, understanding, new lessons, new blessings, just things that keep flowing at me at a very high speed. It's almost like being in a spaceship and going at light speed. I think that's how you say it. And everything just passing by, and never really feeling like I get to settle into a moment long enough to be comfortable, because when you get comfortable, there's no room for growth anymore. So I'm having to keep being forged in that fire, rising from the ashes. And a lot of it is to be here to keep bringing the message of hope to a lot of people because we all need it. We all need to understand that that pain is worth going through. You know, you start out as a very small baby, right? And you don't remember the years of pain and growing. You don't remember how much strain it put on your body. And the only reason I know any of it is because my son has grown so quickly that a lot of times he lays in bed because his body hurts so much, and then he reminds me, this hurts or that hurts, and he's grown another inch or two in a very short period of time. You know, being 16 years old, almost 6'2", the kid has like shot up like a weed. So he lets me know on the aspect of the physical pain is there. And of course, it doesn't allow me to know where he is on a mental level. But watching him grow and plan better for his future lets me see that's going on. That was a side note. I don't know, just to help you realize that it's painful to grow and change. It's very comfortable to sit and not change. But your life will make you to a point where you're jaded and complacent and nothing really matters, and you start, what does that matter? You know, I don't care. And you start to become numb to your own life. So instead of doing that, embrace the pain that comes with healing. And I know that's hard for anyone to fathom, but I promise you the outcome is something better for your future, something better for your children, something better for the world around us that will help a lot of people heal. Because the more we share our healing journeys with one another, the more that we see we're not alone. So I'm going to leave it at that. Cat's going crazy out there wanting attention, I think. So just sending you some hope and some peace, love, and light. And hopefully it will help you keep going on your healing journey. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.